My dear students, we are here to discuss another important area which we are calling as advertisement, a very interesting term to all of you. I am Dr. Abhijit Majumdar, working as Professor and Director of Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pharmacy Institute, Greater Noida. Now, in the previous classes, I have discussed about what sales promotion is, and we have discussed about personal selling also. Now, today we are beginning with what we are calling as advertisement. Now, let us first define the term advertisement. What do we mean by the term advertisement? The term advertisement is nothing but it is a paid form. There are two terms, paid form, non-personal presentation of goods and service. The basic difference between the some of the process, say one is mouth to mouth publicity. It is not a paid form of promotion, but advertisement is a paid form of non-personal presentation of the goods and ideas or service which the various manufacturers of various products, the marketing organization of various products, they commonly take. It is a process by which we have to create an awareness, a process of promotion of your product. Therefore, it should be always on a target group of audience and on a target market. So, it should be based on the target market and the buyer's motives. As we have come across the 4 P's of marketing mix, similarly in case of advertisement or advertisement we are having these 5 M's. We are having 5 M's. What are they? What is the objective of advertisement? Number 1. Number 2, what is the budget of your advertisement? Number 3, which media do you select to advertise? What message you select to advertise? And how are you going to evaluate your product? So, the first one is what is your objective, what is your budget, what is your media, what is your media message, and how are you going to evaluate your advertisement. So, these 5 are what we are calling as the 5 M's in advertising. Let us, before I proceed further, here is an package which is showing an very commonly Cadbury which all of you have taken, which we are calling as dairy milk. Whenever you are opening your television, I am sure at some point or the other you have seen this advertisement of dairy milk coming on to your television ad. So, what is advertisement? Let us first define what do we mean by the term advertisement. According to Kotler and Armstrong, advertisement is a paid form of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods and services by an identified sponsor. This you should understand. It is a paid form, non-personal promotion. Promotion of what? Promotion of ideas, goods and services. By whom? By an identified sponsor. This is what we are calling as advertisement. Then we are going for characteristics of advertisement. It is a paid form by an identified sponsor. So, it is an art and a science by profession. It have a very large audience. Whenever you are putting an advertisement in the television, people across the country, across the state, they are seeing it. So, automatically the appeal is very wide scope. The audience is large. The objective is for persuasion of buying objective is for persuasion of buying, and the theme you need to decide, which we are calling as the message theme, funny, business, image producing, these are commonly used. So, first is setting up the objective, what we are calling as the mission of advertisement. What is it? It should follow with the decision of target market and brand positioning. You have to target the audience, you have to target the group. If you can target the group properly, automatically the brand which you are trying to advertise will get position in that particular market segment. The objectives can be classified or arranged according to their aim. What is the aim of this advertisement? The first thing which we need to do is, what is the mission, what is the objective of your advertisement? What is the aim? The aim is to create brand awareness and knowledge of the new products or new features of the existing product. This is the mission of advertisement. This is the main mission of advertisement. So, the objective is you need to create a brand awareness. What is brand awareness? Brand awareness means an awareness of the company, awareness of the brand of your product in the mind of the customer. If the product is new, the customer must know about the new features, about the new products, new purpose of using that particular product. You should know why you should purchase that product at all. Now, if a product is unique, then you have to explain to the customer that these are the salient features of the product, this is the benefit which you will get by using this product. Now, there are certain situations where the product is already existing for years together. Say for example, if you recollect, we have studied in product life cycle, there were 4 phases, and when the product is in the stationary phase, as I have told you earlier, that we need to add certain salient features, we need to make certain modifications. Whenever you are making modifications or we are adding new features, the people, the customers are to be highlighted, they have to be enlightened about what new features you have incorporated or added in an existing product. It must be persuasive in nature. The aim is to create a liking or preference or conviction to purchase the product. Sometimes advertisement is done to create a reminder in the mind of the customer that okay, this is the company with the product which you have used, time has come to repurchase your product. Now, the frequency will depend on what is the frequency of the use of your product. You have to create a repeated knocking in the mind of the customer that the product needs to be repeatedly purchased or the service needs to be repeatedly availed. A reinforcement is mandatory. Convince the current purchasers that they have made a right decision in purchasing the product by providing a very good after sale service. Next, we are coming to the various components of advertising. What are the various components? The various components of advertising includes, basically there are 7 fundamental basic components. They are: the advertiser, sender of the message needs to be identified. Next is advertising agencies. The third one is development of a message. This is very, very important. Development of the message. What message you try to communicate, what message you try to percolate, that message needs to be framed very cautiously. Because if the message framing is proper, your final objective will be proper. The feedback will be proper. Next is transfer and the meaning and the noise. There are various media which you have to use. Next is the selected media, the vendors, the audience, seekers or the receivers of the message to whom you are targeting, and finally, the feedback. What is the opinion of the people regarding that advertisement? This needs to be collected. This is a slide which shows you small clippings of advertisement of number of leading brands of the country as well as the globe. You can see the advertisement of KitKat, you can see the advertisement of a building of the New York Times, you can see the advertisement of the Burger King, the Coca-Cola, Adidas, McDonald's. See, I have just tried to take the advertisement from the various domains just to make you understand that it is not only related to a pharmaceutical sector or it is just restricted to a consumer goods sector, it is across all products which you are using or which you are having. The next question which is coming is how much shall you spend, which you are calling as the promotional budget. It defines or it determines how much money to spend on the advertisement. It is a very important decision and it will never be same for all companies or for all industries. See, depending on the nature of the product, depending on the nature of the company, your budget will depend. The budget will depend on, say for example, if you are purchasing a television which involves a great thinking, a great information collection before the customers are taking a decision. So, automatically the budget needs to be increased, the frequency of advertisement needs to be increased, because more frequently you advertise, more premium media you advertise, automatically the chance of getting an awareness in the mind of the customer increases. In continuing with what we are discussing about the advertisement budget, we have to decide how much shall we spend on advertising our brand. This is very vital. What is the percentage sales of your product which you are wanting to advertise? Because always remember that the sales decides the advertisement budget. Sales governs the advertisement budget. Not only the sales, but the stage in which your product is, whether your product is in the initial stage or it is in the logarithmic stage or it is in the stationary phase or the product is almost exhausted in the stage of decline. So, the stage of the product in the product life cycle will also govern you how much amount to spend. Whatever you are spending, mind that will come in the final product price. So, affordability is a very important question. Based on the affordability, you need to take a decision. So, what should be your media, what should be your frequency of advertisement, that will all depend on the affordability. If something left after the entire expense, it will be allocated for the advertisement. Next is based on the competitive parities. You have to see what are the other people who are doing, who are the competitors of your product, how much they are spending on advertisement, what is the frequency of the advertisement of your product. Say for example, if a particular company is advertising daily 5 to 6 times, 10 times in a day and you are advertising once in a fortnight, automatically your advertisement message will not reach the customer in the proper sense of the context. the customer will forget. So, you have to decide by seeing the competitors, you have to follow the crowd method. The factors affecting the budget decision as told earlier, that the stage of PLC, the market share, the consumer base, the competition and advertising frequency and the product suitability, these all governs how much to say. Now, the stage in the product life cycle, new product have to be spent more on advertisement as compared to the already existing product, because already existing people know about your product. If you are adding something extra, then only you can advertise, otherwise no need to do it. Market share or consumer base, the companies which have a higher market share usually spend less on advertisement. How many of you have come across the advertisement of a Apple laptop or Apple mobile? Hardly few, because already they are having a very good market reputation, no need to advertise there about our product. Advertising frequency, number of repetition, number of times you need to advertise. Competition, a product which is facing a high competition, we will have to spend more on its advertisement. The product which is having high competition in the market from the other competitors, we need to spend more. Product substitutability, commodities like beer, soft drink, cigarette, which requires heavy advertisement to establish a different brand image. So many competitors are there, so many customers are there. It is, if you are not advertising properly in a very frequent way, the customers will immediately drift away from your product to some other company's product. It depends on how much to spend on advertisement is a very important decision, not same for every companies or industry. Now, question is, what is the process which you should follow to develop a promotional budget? The process goes like this. First of all, you set the advertising objectives. Next, you decide what are the tasks to be performed in order to achieve that particular objectives. Set advertisement objective, first of all decide and then set it up. Determine the task to be performed to achieve the advertisement objectives, task to be performed. Prepare an advertisement budget, take the approval, allocate the budget in the folio and continuously have a feedback. These are the various 8 processes which we follow in developing a budget, developing an advertisement budget. So, you have to generate a message, you have to evaluate, you have to know very properly what the ad wants to say. Evaluate the various messages and choose the one which is most appropriate. Create development and execution, how the ad says, how it can be executed, and whenever you are doing so, you should ensure that there must not be any copying. Plagiarism needs to be avoided, otherwise you will end up in a legal as well as in a social issue. These are the various steps which we do whenever we are framing the message. Whenever first you have to decide the budget, then you accordingly have to frame your message or develop the campaign. Once you have done it, then is decide the media. What is the way in which you will advertise your product? Deciding on 3 factors: reach, frequency and impact. Reach, frequency and impact. These are the 3 important parameters. These are the very 3 important factors which you should determine. Media selection is to find the most cost effective media to deliver the desired number and the type of exposure to the target audience. You have to decide which media is the most cost effective one to deliver the desired number, and the type of exposure should be determined accordingly to the target audience. Exposure specific advertisement objectives and its response from the target audience. Reach, the number of different people and household exposed to a particular media schedule at least once during the specific time period. Frequency, the number of times within a specific time period that an average person or a household individuals are exposed to that message. Next, impact, the qualitative value of an exposure through a given media. Automobile advertisement impact will be higher if you are putting the advertisement in an automobile magazine rather than if you are putting in the fashion magazine. That is, depending on the target audience, you have to select the particular media. If the reach, frequency and impact is high, the advertisement will have a very good impact, but the budget sometimes becomes higher. But you have to see that the reach introducing product and frequency, the competition must be higher. Deciding on the media types, each media will differ in the power to reach, each media will differ in the frequency as well as in its impact. The media planners should find out the right mix of media for the reach, frequency and impact. See, these are the main three parameters as I have told you, the reach, the target audience, media habits, like whether that your target audience is a youth or is an elder or is a rich, middle class, geographical domain, all these factors govern the selection of your media. Product characteristics, high tech products requires audio visual demonstration, message characteristics, timeliness and informative contents will select the media choice. Limited offer medias are TV, radio and newspaper. Circulation, audience relationship, effective audience and effective ad exposure, these are some of the factors which we consider during the specific media. Now is the timings, which timings you should select whenever you are promoting your product. Macro scheduling, micro scheduling, the buyer turnover, purchase frequency, the rate at which the people are forgetting, concentration, fighting, pushing, all these are the factors which governs the media timings and its allocation. Evaluating the media effectiveness, the potential effectiveness on the aware, knowledge and preference, and also to add the sales effect, brand awareness, knowledge and brand preference to promote the brand sales effect. Consumer feedback has to be taken. What do you think? You have to ask the consumer that what do you think about the product, whether how likely the ad has influenced your decision making process. All this needs to be collected in the form of data from the customers. Next, so that will tell you whether your media is effective or not. How does they make you feel? Portfolio test, ask the customer to view or listen a portfolio of advertisement and then they are asked to recall the ad and the content. That will tell you that how much retaining capacity they have. That will govern what will be the next, what will be the frequency of putting up the advertisement in the particular media. Laboratory test measures the psychological reactions of the customers. So, there are two tests what we commonly do, one is the portfolio test and other one is the laboratory test. Attention getting power can be identified, but not the beliefs, attitudes and intentions. Deciding the media effectiveness, sales affect the research, historic method compared to the old previously established data. It can be an experimental one where we have to create a consumer panel, consumer panels are created and the purchase behavior linked with the particular ads are tested. Now, next is the managing the distribution functions. The marketing channels are set of independent organizations involved in the process of making a product or service available for the customers. The roles and the functions of the middlemen, the information to be percolated, the stability of price, promotion, financing and title, all these factors governs the distribution functions. A very common use of an advertisement is the use of billboards, placing the advertisement in the road corner. This is another way. Instead of putting it in a daily, you are putting an advertisement in a corner or a street corner or where the cars are already moving. You have frequently seen big signboards are there. It is an alternative advertisement options. This is another example of advertising. We can use the various public spacing, like whenever you are traveling across metro, you will find that they are putting advertisement. It is a constant, the people are traveling across metro and those advertisements are continuously flashing at the back of the mind. With this, we are coming to the end of our today's class of advertisement. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.